Hello and welcome to West Hill Golf Club, where today we've been out testing the new Ping G400 range of clubs. And in my hands here I've got the two new utilities. Now, if you're in the market for a new utility in 2017 or 2018, chances are these two will come across your radar. But as you can see, there are some significant differences between them, and you'll need to make a decision about which one is right for your game. Now, the G400 Hybrid, the couple of the key bits of technology to talk about here, they have the turbulators on the top of the crown. This helps the club head move a little bit faster through the air, so should help a little bit of ball speed. There is a little bit of offset that you can see there if I sit the club down. That should help people who have a slight sort of slice or fade tendency to straighten up their ball flight, might add a little bit of extra distance as well. This also has a stronger and thinner, lighter steel that they've used in this version of the Hybrid, which should add a little bit more distance over the previous generation. The Crossover, as you can see, is quite a different looking golf club. This is actually very different to what was in the range last year. The Ping G Crossover was the first of that type of golf club that Ping had ever produced. It was black, it was a little bit bigger. This one is a little bit slimmer, but as you set it down behind the ball, there's still plenty of club head to look down on. It looks really forgiving. It is a sort of an alternative to a long iron, something that should offer plenty of forgiveness, plenty of ball speed, and plenty of launch to help you get the ball up and away and get that sort of stopping power that you're looking for, better players will be looking for when they're attacking greens from distance. So I tested these two clubs against each other using the Foresight Sports GC2 launch monitor to provide some data to see what the differences were between them. So looking at the numbers, there's actually some really interesting findings here. So the club head speed that I was getting, the ball speed I was getting from the Hybrid was greater than the ball speed with the Crossover. But interestingly, the overall distance, the carry distance of the Crossover was greater. So 228 yards through the air versus 224 with the Hybrid. So that's because it was flying a little bit higher, it was spinning a little bit less. And I think one of the criticisms possibly of last year's Crossover was that it wasn't really something you could use from the deck particularly well. It didn't maybe get through the grass as well as it could have done. It didn't offer the stopping power into the greens. Ping have really looked at that with this generation. And actually, I think when you look at these two clubs up against each other, as I've done, there's greater differences between the two this year than in previous generations. So if you are looking for something to look down on that offers maximum forgiveness and club head speed through the ball, the Hybrid will do that nicely, and it does work nicely from a range of different lies. But equally, if you're looking for an alternative to use off the tee, a long iron replacement off the tee, or for a club to attack the green with from distance, the Crossover could well be the way to go. One other thing worth mentioning is that I tested both of these up against my own Titleist TMB long iron replacements. It's the 3-iron replacement. It's a club I've come to really love over the last couple of years, using it off the tee and off the deck. Really enjoyed using it. It's again a bit like the Crossover. It's a hollow construction designed to offer that little bit more forgiveness whilst still offering the sort of classic look of an iron. That's a 20-degree club, and as you can see when I flash up the numbers, both the Crossover and the Hybrid went further. They launched higher, they went higher, and they actually went further than that TMB iron, which shows that the technology that Ping have packed in here really does work. It really offers the performance that they say it will, and in terms of the Crossover and the Hybrid actually, that it provides that stopping power into the greens that a lot of players are going to be looking for. One last thing to mention is the feel of the Crossover. Now, with any hollow-headed iron, really a sort of a big long iron replacement, hollow-headed iron, the sound and the feel is slightly different. If you are somebody that likes a really classic feeling, classic sounding long iron, this might come as a little bit of a shock. What I'd say is hit a few shots with it on the range. Get used to the sound. At first, it might be a bit off-putting, but the more shots you hit with it, the more you'll come to like it. And the ball just pops up, and it just gets out there. And I was hitting this 240 yards with a 228 yard carry, which I'd say is a really solid performance from what is effectively a 4-iron. As always, if you are interested in new hybrids or utility clubs, probably go and speak to your pro. Make sure that you get the right lofts for your game. Make sure they're correctly gapped for your game, so that you're not hitting more than one club the same distance. They should go the right distances for your game. But if you manage to do that properly, you should walk away with a Hybrid or a utility club that's right for you.